Hello and welcome back to Critical Hit, your one-stop channel for news and opinion-based videos on everything geek and gamer culture. I am your host, Adam, and what do you get when you take an intellectual property from the 80s, throw in a spoonful of Steven Universe aesthetics, and a heap load of shite from Teen Titans Go? You get this abomination. Thundercats Roar, and wow. I had heard that people were up in arms about this show since its initial announcement, but wow. This one has been going from strength to strength, hasn't it? From that abysmal reveal right up to the present day, no one has anything good to say about this. I mean, look at the IMDb score, look at it. You take a look at it and you realise how mad people are getting about this one. And for good reasons. See, Victor Courtwright really knows how to put the cunt into contempt, because when he decided to basically mock the fans of the original show in one of his most ill-advised crossovers with Teen Titans Go, you know, that show that I actually despise, like, if it were possible to reach through the screen and strangle a show to death, I would do it. That sort of level of hatred I have for Teen Titans Go. It's funny how history continues to repeat itself. Here we have a show with a pre-established fan base trying to use that franchise to prop themselves up on a pedestal that they have no right to stand upon, while also shitting on what came before. In that sense, this was in many ways the perfect crossover, wasn't it? Two shows that have done nothing but bait, mock, tease and insult the fan bases of what came before it. The episode originally pitched itself as a jab at the TV series, you know, Thundercats Roar itself, but it became very obvious as the episode went on that it was just a bitter attempt to mock and insult Thundercats fans and critics of the show. By actually having the original Lion-O come out and tell everyone who didn't like Thundercats Roar that they had poop brains with poop opinions. This is real. This is something that happened, and here is the clip in full.
Lady, but perhaps in the future they can put their energy into addressing something more important.
Yeah, it can't be.
It is I, Lion-O, Lord of the Thundercats.
Wow, look at that cat.
Chloe,
I've been watching you all from my perch in the cartoon afterlife. You've shown me that Thundercats Roar is a worthy successor, and anyone who says otherwise has a poop mouth with poop opinions.
Well, I guess that settles it.
Yo, this cat has spoken.
Gosh, thanks for the completely unforced endorsement, Original Me.
You're welcome. Now I think it's time to give the people what they really want. Thunder, 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 Thundercats! Ho! Oh yeah!
Wow!
Look at these guns.
Booyosity!
That's right.
I guess no one cares about poor old Snarf. Or you, huh?
Now, I don't know if that was Larry Kenney, the original voice actor for Lion-O. I genuinely hope it wasn't. But as you can imagine, this did not go over well with the fans. The episode was bad enough, as are all Teen Titan Go episodes, every single one of them. But this was laying on the cringe heavily throughout, and it decided to end in such a backhanded way. But it gets worse. It gets much worse, because as you see, they threw in a little insult here to the 2011 reboot, which, while not successful, was still respectful of the original. And it was also compounded by the fact they also included Panthero's skeleton, which many interpreted as a dig at the fact that the voice actor for Panthero died a couple of years ago, which, if that was in the intention, fuck you. Fuck you royally with a fucking cactus dildo if that was the case, you inappropriate fucks. And then you look at Thundercats Roar, and it's obvious what the creators are saying here. Let's take an established brand, fill it with whatever's popular right now in order to squeeze out as many pennies as we can. All the while, we'll tell the fans of the original to go fuck themselves. And the sad part? I could be referring to either Teen Titans Go or Thundercats Roar right now, because they both do the exact same thing. And as Victor has proven, he hasn't got an original thought in his fucking head. He is basically just trying to ride the coattails of Teen Titans Go's success, and I don't know how Teen Titans Go has managed to stay afloat being so contemptuous as they have been to the fans of the original. The show goes out of its way to shit all over its critics and mock them incessantly, whether it was the fans of Young Justice, being that Teen Titans Go replaced Young Justice, or the fans of the original show, or indeed now the fans of the original Thundercats. This show fucking hates you. It makes no qualms about telling you that it hates you. And I'm pretty sure the only reason it's still around is because it looks insanely cheap to make. I mean, it looks like it was made on a budget of like $5 and a freaking polo mint. I'm pretty sure that's the only reason it's still around. And I bring all this up because there is actually a way to fix this. And I can use another show that got away with doing everything that they have done, to a lesser degree, I'll admit. That show was Sonic Boom. Now, when Sonic Boom was announced as a sort of reboot to the franchise, people initially rejected it. But with the negative reception of the fans and the fact that the games didn't do too well, Sega decided instead of just cancelling the whole thing outright, they would proceed with the show and continue on with the original setting of the video games, while the show did its own thing. The show still poked fun at the fans, but they never really went too far with it, and that's why I think it didn't really cause that much of a stir. Like, there was this joke involving Knuckles saying, "Hey, I'll guard this gem. People have been complaining that I don't guard enough gems." But on the flip side, Knuckles didn't turn to the camera and say, "And anyone who thinks I should be guarding gems have poop brains with poop opinions," did they? So it was never that mean-spirited. It was like, hey, we're having fun with this. And I think that was one of the reasons it carried on. Secondly, Sonic's tone was always very light-hearted and silly, and as was Teen Titans. And while while Teen Titans could be very serious, it was still fun and goofy. Thundercats, on the other hand, was very straight, as far as I could tell. I didn't watch it myself. From what I have seen of it, it was played very straight, very serious. It was a fantasy adventure. And the bigger shift in tone towards Thundercats Raw was obviously much more jarring. But most importantly of all, it all ties into the aspect that I feel could negate a lot of this backlash, and that is Sonic Boom didn't supplant or erase the original. It existed in tangent with the games. So the game's reality still existed. We still got things like Sonic Forces and Sonic Mania, which were very true to Sonic, for better or for worse. Whereas these shows uses the brand of the original in order to elevate itself while also replacing the original and shitting all over the old shows and their fans. So that incurs a much more vocal backlash from fans. In the end, you're still representing the brand. You obviously know that this product has some worth, because otherwise you wouldn't use it. You would create your own original show that would probably go unnoticed, get nearly as much publicity as an established IP. Otherwise, you're pretty much you decide to use this brand to elevate your own show 1 minute and then shit all over the original the next. And fans don't like that. Of course they're going to reject that. And that's the thing. You could easily remedy this. And all you would need to do is this. Announce a new Thundercats show in the vein of the original TV series. It's that simple. It really is that simple. I bet you 75% of people who have been complaining about Thundercats Raw wouldn't care if the original existed. If something in the vein of the original was there for them. I bet you if Thundercats and Teen Titans were still on the air when these shows came out, the backlash would not nearly have been as negative, because we'd still have our own shows to turn to if we didn't like it. I know for a fact, if you brought back Teen Titans, I would not give a shit about what Teen Titans Go was doing. I sure as hell would not be angry at the digs they make at the fan base. I would not care. And this is not how you handle backlash. This is not how you handle established intellectual properties. This is disgusting. Fuck Thundercats Raw and fuck Teen Titans Go. And that's all I've got to say on this. I hope the show gets cancelled. I really do. I'll see you guys next time. Ciao for now.